Hello, hello, hello. I hope everyone is having a good day so far, and I am so excited to be on Tuesdays with Grace with you all. This is gonna be a super fun project, and it's perfect to make as a gift for your grandkids, your kids, or to make it for yourself. This is so cute. This is our little drawstring bag. It closes, it has little bunny ears. Super cute, actually, super fun. It's just a little bag. It's perfect to carry it around, perfect to go to elementary school with, to do any of that. Super fun. So we've got our little layer of Wonder Under. It's a little crinkled, but that doesn't matter. So we've got our Wonder Under, and then we've got our bag. I've already creased it with our iron, so I'm gonna make sure that it's gonna stay that way, but this is a 12.5 by 25 piece of fabric, and it's folded in half and it's already creased, so it's ready for us to start with our bag. And then I've got our other pieces here, and these are gonna be help to make for the ears. And then I've got our 2 stencils to help make the ears. I'm gonna put the ears to the side right now, as well as our Wonder Under. I think that's the best name, honestly. Super fun. So I'm gonna put this to the side. With this, things that we're gonna need for our project, I'm gonna pull out my little nifty bag. We're gonna need pins. Always have pins, it's always good. And then I have fabric scissors. I have a ruler. I have normal scissors. And then I have my little itty bitty scissors. You can never have enough scissors. I'm noticing that now. So you can never have enough scissors. I also have a pen. I suggest using a pencil when doing this, just because you can erase that. But for this, so I can show you guys it, I'm gonna use the pen, so it'll show up better on camera. But for now, I'm gonna put all of these to the side, just for a little bit. I'm gonna grab my pen, and I'm gonna grab my ruler. And so once you fold your piece of fabric in half, you're gonna have 3 sides that are open. You're gonna have the side, the top, and then the other side. And then you'll have the bottom, which is the folded part. So what we are gonna do is we're gonna take a little measurement of 2 inches on each side. So that's why we have our ruler. We're gonna make a little notch here, and I'm gonna do it on this side as well. And make sure this is lined up properly. And there we go, that's better. And do 2 inches on this side. Okay, I have those 2 markings. I'm gonna grab some of my pins, and I am going to pin this along the side. I don't go too crazy with pins because I find that it's really annoying, but I usually like to do 2 or 3 per section if it's within like an arm's length section to do. And the nice thing is with the bottom, it's sort of already pinned for you. Okay, I'm gonna do that side. Now we're gonna do this side. Make sure everything's lined up. Pin up here. Pin in the middle. Pin at the bottom. All right, so now your project should look like this when going to your domestic machine to sew it up. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take our sewing machine, and we're actually gonna sew from the 2-inch mark that we just made, so this little black mark, all the way down to the fold. And we're gonna do that on both sides. So I'm gonna take this over, and we are sewing. Always make sure you do a back stitch. It's the best way to hold your stitches in place, and it keeps you from doing the annoying restitch, which I've done so many times, it is so hard to count. that side's done. Going over to the next side. You can take this pin out at the top now after it's sewn. I just keep it there so the top doesn't go all wanky. I don't know if that's a word, but we're making it a word. And then I'm going to start at the bottom on this side. My pins are also a little wacky because I have been using them so aggressively lately with all of the projects that I've been doing. And I need to be a little bit kinder to them. And there we go. Take out that top pin. I'm going to show you what it looks like with the markings. All right, so with the markings, you can see that the white is all the way up. That's our thread line. I'm going to trim. I'm actually going to use the tiny scissors because I think they're more fun. Maybe. Put the threads off to the side. Okay. All right, now this part's really important, so don't forget it. So we did a 1/4 of an inch inseam, or gave it a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, excuse me, on each side. So with that, we're gonna take our scissors, I'm gonna take our fabric scissors, and we're gonna cut where our 2-inch mark is. We're gonna cut in towards the seam, because it's already a 1/4 of an inch, it's measured for us. So it's just a 1/4 of an inch, we don't need anything else. And while we do that, I'm gonna turn on the iron. So it can be heating up while we start. Okay, I'm just gonna take it and do a little snip. It'll snip on both sides. Oops, if I can flip it around. I'm gonna snip on this side. Perfect. Okay, once we do that, we're gonna take just the top section and we're gonna fold it inwards. And we're just gonna fold it just to make a little piece. So I'm gonna pull it back so you guys can see again, fold over just that 1/4 of an inch. Once we do that, hoping our iron is warm enough for it to stay. So I'm gonna grab our iron and I'm gonna press this seam down. The reason for this is so when you put the strings through on the top, it will actually be a good edge and it won't be a raw edge. I don't know. A good edge isn't a good word, but we're using it. So do the same thing on this side. And press. What's so nice about having this ironing board here and the little iron is it's so perfect and it's miniature, which is so perfect for me. My mom raised me on miniature things. She always loves them and she collects them. So now it's just a habit in me to always love miniature things as well. Okay, so after we've done that on the front side, make sure that you are going to do it on the back side as well. So we're flipping it. And since it's already cut, we don't have to cut it again, but we're gonna fold it so that it lines up and it looks like we have a little divot. And I'm gonna press that seam. So while everyone is doing their projects, I was actually talking to a couple of quilters the other day, and I was talking to them about what they do during their projects or whenever they're quilting or sewing or anything. And one of them said that they listen to music, but one of them said that they don't do anything. They just listen to the machine. They listen to the sort of the ASMR sound of it, if that makes sense. And I am not that person. I love to have a good show on. I'm a Grey's Anatomy girl. I will always watch that. So now We're gonna fold down about a 1/2 inch. And we're gonna press it along the way so that it will stay in its spot. We're gonna press the entire way across, just like that. Even though it's not pressed all the way, it'll do the work that we need. I'm gonna fold it one more time. So this is the key part, is folding it one more time and lining it up with that little dip that we've already created. So do that. Create the dip, and we're gonna press this seam as well. Else. All right. Now we're gonna do it to the other side. This project is super easy. It does not take very much time at all. Let's press. Awesome. And one more time. Fold it all the way down and awesome. Okay. And here is our little bag. I'm really happy with it. I think the folds turned out nice and it lines up pretty good together. Now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna pin it just so I know so it stays in place. I'm just gonna pin here. I'm gonna pin once in the middle. And notice when I'm pinning, I'm only pinning one side of the fabric. I'm not pinning both of them together. And then I'm going on this side. Now I'm gonna do the same here. Make sure I pin. All right, now we're gonna go to our sewing machine. This is the important part to remember. When sewing, you are gonna sew across the bottom edge, so the one towards the bottom. So you're gonna sew right across about here. This way, you have a hole or a little channel from one end to the other, and that's where we're gonna put our string. So make sure you're sewing here and not up at the top. So I'm gonna take this and we are gonna move over to the machine. And please do not sew the sides together. That would be really sad, and also it would be really frustrating because I know I've been there and done that. So now we got one side done. Okay, next side. I'm gonna do the same thing. Okay, now you can see we have a little bag. Hey, it turned out pretty cute. And now, I'm gonna grab our lovely fun colors. So for this, we have our 2 stencils, and then we've got our fabric. So what I am going to do is we're gonna trace. So I have this. This is the big one. This is gonna be for the brown ear. I'm gonna grab my pen and we are gonna trace this. Make sure when you're tracing, you're on the smooth side, you're not on this rough, bumpy side. And we're gonna come up here. Okay. So I'm gonna need 2 of these. So I'm gonna do this again. All right. Second one, and then I'm gonna do 2 of these small ones. Okay. So now that you can see this whole page of Wonder Under is filled out, I'm gonna grab my paper scissors and I'm gonna cut these pieces out. So what we are gonna do, I have 2 for this, and I'm gonna keep it that way, and I'll show you why in a minute. But what I am going to do is I'm gonna take the Wonder Under and I am going to iron it on. I'm gonna iron with the smooth side facing me, so the dotty side facing the right side of the fabric, or sorry, the wrong side of the fabric. And take this, and I'm just gonna go. You wanna iron it for about 4 to 5 seconds. I think that's good. I'm gonna put it over to the side for a little bit, and then I'm gonna do the same thing for this piece. Okay, we are all set there. Okay, now we're gonna grab our fun colored fabric and we're gonna flip it so that you can tell that the right side is facing down. And then this one. Okay, while we set that to cool, this we are actually going to cut. And because I want 2 layers, because I want 2 of these, I'm gonna keep them together, and I'm actually gonna pin on the bottom so it stays a little bit better. Okay, so we're gonna cut this out. And then, good. And now you can see I have one with this on and one without. And now I'm gonna do the same thing. Keep those 2 paired together. Same thing over here. Now we're gonna cut out these 2. Okay, so now we're gonna start on our bunnies. We have our 2 pieces here. We're gonna take the pieces that have the paper on them. I'm gonna put these off to the side. We're gonna flip them over. And now we have these 2 pieces. And now when you put them on, they look really cute. And it looks like an actual bunny, like 2 little bunny ears. So what we are gonna do is we're gonna take the paper off of the colored fabric, or the, I should say, more vibrant fabric, and rip it off. And then I'm gonna place this where I see that it will look good. And I'm not too particular about it, so I'm gonna put it right there. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this one. Okay, so I'm gonna put these just a little bit, I'm actually gonna put this one a little bit lower, so it's more towards that side. And we're gonna iron it. This is gonna help it stick so that it won't move around when we're trying to applique it. I'm gonna sew both sides. Now you can see that they are not coming off. I can hold it up and do a little shake. Nothing's happening. Okay, I'm going to take the paper off. Perfect. Now we're gonna go to this one. Okay, we are done with that. We have these. I'm gonna throw these pieces away, and we're gonna sew around the bunny ears to make sure they stay. Okay, one bunny ear, done. Next one. Okay, this one is complete as well. We're gonna clip these threads on both of them. All right. Now that we have these, we're gonna make them so that we can flip them inside out and this raw edge won't fray. So we're gonna take the other two pieces that we did, and we're gonna lay them on top, and we're going to sew all the way around them. I'm gonna do a couple pins just to make sure everything's gonna stay in place. This project really is so fun and it's such a cute idea. Now let's sew around the edges. When you do this, do not sew this part because that's where we're gonna flip it inside out. Okay, here's this. I'm gonna show you how it looks when you flip it inside out. So I open it up. To make sure I get that point, I'm gonna stick my scissors. I'm gonna stick my paper scissors in, and I'm just gonna push out very gently so I don't poke a hole through the very tip of this. All right, now that it's set, and I think it's really cute, I'm gonna iron it. And it's gonna actually stay in place because we have the glue dots on that other side. And it adds a little texture so that it's a little bit more firm so I can hold it up, and it has sort of a curve shape rather than falling completely over. I'm gonna do this top part just a little bit more. One thing you can do if it makes it easier is you can keep the paper on while you are sewing, and then before you flip it inside out, make sure to remove it. And there we go, that's one. Okay, let's do the other one. Perfect. Okay, now we have our bunny ears. We're gonna go back to our bag. And we are gonna choose one side, it doesn't matter which side. And we are gonna sew right with the bag. If you want, you can actually tuck these in so it's a little bit of a nicer seam. So I'm gonna show you. So you can tuck this in and you can sew across so it has a little bit of a nicer edge. But for time's sake, I'm not gonna do that. So I'm just gonna sort of find the middle, and we're gonna go, and we're gonna sew, and we wanna sew right across the same sewing line that we already have done. Make sure everything's set. And then I'm gonna go. I'm gonna grab the other one. I'm actually gonna set it so it looks a little bit like it's tilting in towards each other. Let's pull this out. Okay. Now, when we flip this inside out, we have our little bunny bag and our bunny ears. I'm gonna clip the threads. They're gonna be right here. Look how cute this is. And they've got little floppy ears, so. So this is super fun. To show you how to put in the string, I'm gonna grab it out of this one. We have our string, and this is a brand new thing. This is actually just like a piece of ribbon. And I'm gonna grab it, and I'm gonna cut the film off. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna measure it to the length that you want. Sort of want it here, and you're gonna do 2 of these. So let's go here. Let's go. And then 2. I'm gonna clip that. And then I'm gonna grab this, and to make sure that they're even, I will snip it in half right about here. Okay, this is the last part to the bunny bag. This part is super simple. We're actually gonna take one of the strings. I'm gonna put a safety pin on it, so you can see. And we're gonna feed it through. And what we're gonna do is we want it to go all the way through and back around and come out the same end. So let's hurry and show you how to do this real quick with the bobby pin. If you've never done this before, this is something I learned super young, and it's always helped. It's whenever a hoodie or anything like that. So I have the safety pin, sorry, not a bobby pin. Safety pin here. I'm gonna scrunch up the fabric onto it, and then I'm gonna pull I'm gonna hold on, and I'm gonna pull the remaining through the string. And I'm just gonna keep repeating that process. Then once it comes all the way through, you can pull it, and it's all the way through. Now we're gonna go all the way back through the other side and repeat the same process. Okay, it's all the way through. Now, if you want, you can keep it like this, and when the ears are out, you can tie it, do a little knot here, and then when you pull it, it'll scrunch up. Or we're gonna do the same thing with the other string. Same thing, but we're gonna start on the opposite side. But we're gonna do the same thing, just pull all the way around. Okay, last bit, it's coming through. I'm pulling it through. Gonna give it a little tug. And there we go. Here is our bunny drawstring bag. If I can take it out of the safety pin. Hey, here are our bunny ears. I'm gonna face it towards you guys, and we've got our little bunny ears, and if we pull, it makes our drawstring bag and our cute little bunny ears on top.